One for Theoretical Girl. Why is I Am Theoretical Girl so different to all that has come since? Amy?
Because it's the first song he ever wrote, and I got better since then, I hope. And I can play my instruments a bit better since then.
Is it dramatically different?
Yes, massively. Yeah.
I'll have to listen to it. I've not heard it.
It's a very bad song.
Don't be so down with yourself.
No, it's a bad song.
Thunder 83 says, really, Andy? Yes. I worked with the Abraham Tatlises on a song called Sabuha.
Edgar, I've no idea. I think Warner Brothers have pulled a lot of videos, and 2 of the videos they've pulled are Sophia and they've pulled Everybody's Gone to War. It's just stupid. Some of the policies going on at labels is just bonkers. I mean, they're idiotic. I don't know why they've done it.
Do they want money or?
They just won't accept the futures here. You know. I mean, I think there's 2 distinct music businesses going on now. I think there's if people are smart, they will sell quality music to an older audience who will still buy a physical format. And I think Susan Boyle has shown the way, and I think we're going to get a lot of things like Susan Boyle, and there's nothing wrong with that, because there's an audience for it. If people didn't want it, they wouldn't buy it. And I don't see why, you know, if you like easy listening, you shouldn't be catered for. But the industry has to accept. Ireland, yes, I'm coming to Ireland. We are actually going to put a Dublin show in very soon.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, actually.
Dublin,
no, I'm not coming to play in Dublin tomorrow. I'm going to come to play in Dublin sometime in the future, but I'll alert you of it.
Was that Wine Pop? It was.
Yes, it was.
It was. How terrible.
I do have the Steve. Steve, I've got the country gent. Yes.
Can you tell DJ that I don't think Newcastle's happening because there's something going on in that room?
David, I don't know if the stage is happening because I think what's happened is where my date was, what's the word? Scheduled or penciled in. They put in a long-term thing. So
come to Manchester. That's close, but it's nearly sold out.
Yeah, I'm playing Manchester, which is nearly sold out, and we may be playing Carlisle, but we're not completely sure. I think it's doubtful because of dates coinciding with something else. Oh, I'm running on reserve battery power.
Why the bunny on the album cover?
Because I love rabbits. I've got tons of things to do with rabbits, and I have a real rabbit actually. He's outside. I don't think Nottingham's sold out yet.
No.
Good luck, Irish Dax, for your interview tomorrow. If I could go back, Amy, that's a good question, isn't it? That's a really good question. If I could go back and change anything in my life.
That is a good question.
Eyesight.
But then you wouldn't be here, you know, all these small things.
That's true. You can't know. I've got a song called "The Long Tall Grass of Summer," and there's a line in it that says, "But we can't go back because we don't know that we would for certain we'd be here." But I do think that because I felt it really, really strongly when I met my husband, because I'd previously gone out with a complete lunatic for a long time, and I stayed in a really dodgy relationship that I should have got out of.
Maybe that was Freddie.
Maybe that was Freddie. Maybe Freddie's my ex. And I stayed in a quite abusive relationship, and I didn't realise what was happening, and I sort of lost sense of myself, and I was very unhappy. And so when I met my other half, who I'd known at primary school, for a long time I kept thinking, if only I'd known, if only we could have got out when we were 15, if only I hadn't wasted my time, we could have been together all this time. But then I don't think we'd have got on as adults, because we wouldn't have had that separate divergence.
I was in the studio when you were emailing Andy.
Were you the first time? Yeah. Yeah, so it's nearly 3 years, we've been married nearly 3 years. So I don't know. Would I change anything? I wish I had, there's one thing I wish, 2 days before my granny died, this is a long time ago, I had a really strong sense that my mum and I had been to visit her in London, and then we were going off to see some family somewhere else. And we'd been driving half a mile down the road, and I said to my mum, can we turn back? Because I don't think Granny, she looked really sad. And my mum and I, we were both sitting in the car, and we very nearly turned back. She was, oh, well, she's fine. And that was the last time we ever saw her. She was run over by a car about a week later. And I wish, that's one time, and I'd had a dream a few nights before that she was going to die. And I really wish I had not ignored that gut instinct, and I'd gone back, and she knew I loved her, but I really wish I had told her how much I loved her. That's the only thing, because that wouldn't really have changed too much. She'd have probably still died, but I could have really made her know what she meant to me. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
I would be really strict, definitely as a school teacher. Oh, Sapphire, I'm really sorry about your nan. Grannies are really special. It's a really unique relationship. I think you have a bond. I found as well with my gran that she could understand things when I wasn't always getting on with my mum, and that could be a really good thing. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry about that. Barney, we are thinking about doing Belfast. If I do the Dublin date, we're almost certain that we'll put in a Belfast date. Not completely sure yet. Grans have groovy sixth sense, they really do. If I wasn't in music, what would I like to be in my job? I'd like to be a writer, like a novelist. But I've never even written a short story, so I'm not convinced that will happen. I will, Laura, I will definitely do Sapphire soon. I did it a few weeks ago. Oh, I'm sorry about your dad. I'm sorry. My rabbit's called Merlin. I'm going to have to go very soon. I could play you some of the concerto. It's very boring. I have to, but because not everybody likes Ravel, but I'll play you a little bit.
Bath isn't sold out.
Parky, Bath's not sold out, and you didn't check your private message. Go and check your direct message on Twitter, by the way, Parky. No, Genius Loser Nottingham still available.
The only one sold out at
You
the
too,
moment
Matt Wills. Take care.
is
Merlin the rabbit.
London.
Okay. Alistair, I do believe in reincarnation, but I don't think it's anything as kind of like as obscure as the Catholic Church would have it made out. I just think that energy is energy, and we know it actually. Energy it can't die, but it's mutable. So you can have energy that exists as a dog and energy that exists as ether. Do you know what? I think unless you're a scientist, you should never try and describe phenomena, because you just sound like a dickhead, don't you? You just sound like you're on one of those Sunday morning programmes with Nikki Campbell. Christmas tree's still up, everybody.
Where is it?
Okay, everybody, I'm going to say goodnight because it's 10:15 and I've got an early start, and it's been a real pleasure. And I love doing this every week. Keep giving me your... Okay, Parky, I will sort it out. I love doing this. Please keep coming back to me with more suggestions for what would make the show more interesting. So next week we've got a different guest, Rod Thomas, don't forget, tune in, he's wonderful. And also a song from the top 20. And also, if you haven't signed up to Amy, my guest tonight's Twitter, Amy Theoretical Girl, please go and do that. No, David, not Rob Thomas from Matchbox 2020. Rod, R-O-D Thomas.
Bright lights, bright lights.
Yeah, bright light, bright lights. He's much better than Rob Thomas.
In fact, he's playing in the background.
Yes, if you can hear it, I'm playing you some Rod Thomas right now.
Bright light, bright light.
Bright light, bright light. Hopefully I've answered everybody's questions. If I haven't, I apologise if I've missed them, but they're coming in really quickly. So keep trying next week, or send me a Twitter message, and send me some requests as well for next week, cover ideas, you name it. But a real pleasure, and good night, have a great week everyone. Thank you so much. Bye! Is that it?
Sleep all you left one.